Achieving this beautiful top may seem very easy, but there are some intricate details that if you do not pay attention to, you will not like your top. Firstly, we have a front zipper that makes this top very unique and beautiful. Next, we have a princess that it is not a bustier, but it has a princess that allows for your bust to sit comfortably. Next, we have the slit in front and that in the back. And then finally, we have this beautiful shape the top has. If your top does not have this shape, I promise you, you will not like it. So all of these details I'll be showing you how to achieve in this tutorial. Hi guys, my name is Naya John. I teach ladies how to make amazing dresses. So guys, this is the fabric I'm working with. I have about 1.5 yard of this fabric. Please note that the fabric for the skirt and the top are totally different materials, okay? Now I have my pattern paper right here. I'll fold it into two like so, and then I'll indicate my start line. Now your start line is half an inch from the start of your paper. Just highlight that. Now after ruling that line, we'll call it our shoulder line. Now the next thing, we'll go in by the measurement from our shoulder to the chest. Shoulder to chest, that will now be our chest line. So my shoulder to chest is 8 inches and I'll mark 8 inches. Now my shoulder to nipple is 10.5 and I've marked 10.5. that will be my bust line. My shoulder to my waist is 15.5 and I've marked 15.5. that will be my waist line. Now the full length for the top is 24 and I'll rule on that 24. Pay close attention. Now after ruling on the full length, before we roll across the other lines, we have to create our zipper allowance. Remember, we are working with the front zipper, okay? Now for the zipper allowance, we'll be going in by 1.5 inches from the center of our paper, okay? So I'll go in by 1.5 inches and then I'll roll across that area. Okay, so I've just drawn my zipper allowance and I've labeled it to avoid confusions. Now what I usually do to avoid confusion really is to just simply fold the zipper allowance in, because you know this is the front. We may forget that this is the front and then misplace our tape, you get me? So after that, now the next thing to do will be to roll across those lines, our chest line, our bust line, our waistline, and then the full length. Now let's go with the vertical measurements. Great, so we are starting off with the neckline. Now go over to the folded part of your paper, go in by 3 inches and that will be the wideness for the neckline. Now we'll go downwards by 3 inches as well, and that will be the depth of the neckline. Now the next we want to do is to connect both dots we just created using our French curve. Your French curve, very important, okay? Make sure you're using the most curved part of that curve, then connect both points. By the time you connect both points, they should look like this, okay? Now on that shoulder line, I'll divide my shoulder measurement by 2 and that will give me 8.5 and I've marked it. So 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. That's what I marked. Now on that point where you marked your shoulder measurement, go down by half an inch. By half an inch, connect it back to your neckline, just like this. Now from that shoulder slope, connect straight to your chest line, just like this. Good. Now the next thing we'll get is our armhole. Now place your tape rule from your shoulder slope all the way to your chest line. Get the midpoint. On that midpoint, go in by half an inch. Notice how I went in by half an inch on that midpoint. This pattern is particular to the front armhole. What did I say? The front armhole. Now that we've done that, we're going to our chest line. Divide your bust measurement by 4, apply it on that chest line. So we're working with bust 40, divide by 4, that's 10. I'll mark 10 right there. So I've marked 10. Good, so you get your French curve, connect from that point you just marked on your chest line, connect it all the way through to that half inch you marked earlier, and then finally to your shoulder slope. Please, if you do not understand what I'm saying, just watch what I'm doing. It will make sense, okay? Now divide the measurement of your nipple to nipple by half. If I divide mine, I'll have 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I will mark 4 right there. From the center of your paper, you go in by the measurement of your nipple to nipple, divide by 2. Now I've marked mine, I'll go ahead and rule across. Now after drawing the line, go to your waistline, place your tape directly on that line. On the waistline, you go in by 1 inch. 1 inch towards the armhole side. That's the area facing the armhole. 1 inch, okay? Like you see on the screen. Now towards the other side of the dot line, you will take in just half an inch. What did I say? Just half an inch. Very important to take note of all these inches, okay? Now that done, would connect from our bust point, the center of our bust point, connect to each of those dots we created. Now after connecting, this is what it will look like. The next thing you should do is connect this to the leg of your dart, just like you see on the screen. After that, you move to your armhole. Place your tape round about the armhole and get the midpoint. Now the midpoint is right here, and I have indicated that. Now we'll simply place our French curve from this midpoint, connecting it to the leg of the dart. Now after doing this, place your tape and go out by half an inch should be enough, okay? Half an inch should be enough. Then go to the chest line, replace the same half an inch or that chest line, okay? Once you've done that, connect the 2 dots that you've created. This is what it should look like. Then go ahead and connect it back to the eye of your dart. Very easy. Now this is a new armhole we'll be working. Next, we'll start marking the circumference measurement for the bust. Whatever we have on the chest line automatically will be on the bust, okay? Now for your waistline, the measurement for the waist we're working with is 28. We'll divide by 4 and that will give us 7. I'll mark 7. After marking 7, now we'll measure the dart we took out on that line, and what we took out is 1.5 inches. We'll replace it, so we'll add 1.5 inches. So in total what we have here is 9 inches. Now we'll move to the full length, which is also the hip line. The hip we're working with is 42, divided by 4 is 10.5. There's no dart to replace there, so we'll leave it like that. Then we'll simply connect from that point we just mark to the armhole. Please pay attention to the way I'm using my French curve, especially around that hip area. You see the way the curve is highlighted. Very good. Now the next thing we'll create now is the basque effect or the curve effect our shirt or top has. So to achieve that, go to the side of the top. We'll go in by 21 inches. Note where I placed my tape from the initial start line, okay? So I marked 21 inches on the side. We'll simply connect that 21 inches to the center of my top like this. Now after that, I'm gonna have to add my sewing allowance, which is about 1.5 inches. If you want yours to be up to 2 inches or even 1 inch, you can decide that, okay? So this right here is the perfect pattern for the top. This is exactly what I used to give me that perfect top you saw, okay? So I like adding my allowance to my pattern paper so that in case I forget, I will still be on the safe side, because we have already added our stitching allowance. Very important. So the next will be to go ahead and cut out. Please make sure you're paying attention to the armhole area. See the way I did not cut through the old armhole, okay? Just leave it like that. You can see how our pattern paper looks. Now this is what we have. Remember our zipper allowance, okay? Don't forget. Now the next thing to do is to create that slit at the center of the top. Now go to the hem of the top, the center, place your tape, go in by 1 inch. Okay, go in by 1 inch, connect from that 1 inch to the waistline. Alright, so I'll connect like so, and this is how I created that slit. Connect it also to the zipper allowance so you can see. Yes, so this is what we have. That space in between the shirt is the zipper allowance. Okay, so we'll cut out the darts, and after cutting, this is what we'll have for the front piece. Okay, very demure, very mindful. Now to crown your work, you must label it. Label it as front piece, center front, side front, label, to avoid any misplacement. Okay, so that is that for the front pattern. Straight, we're moving to the back pattern. Now of course we'll fold our back pattern into two. The back pattern has no zipper, so it's gonna be quick. After folding your paper into two, indicate your start line, which I have done. The next will be to create the neckline. Now for the wideness of the neck, we are going in by 3 inches. It must be same with the front, okay? Now the only difference will be in the depth. Now for the depth of the back, we are going in by 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, okay? And after that, we'll simply connect both dots we've created. Connect both dots together, and that will be our neck line. Now the next thing we'll do is to indicate your shoulder to chest line, your shoulder to bust line, shoulder to waist line, and then shoulder to the full length. Good. So on those points we just made, we are going to rule across those points. Now the next one will be to mark your shoulder line. Place your tape from the center of your paper, go in by half of your shoulder measurement, and then go down by half an inch, connect back to the neckline, and that will give you your shoulder slope. Connect from your shoulder slope all the way to the chest line. You want to pay close attention to this part, okay? Please do. Now on the chest line, mark quarter of your bust measurement, meaning your bust measurement divided by 4. We are working with 40, divided by 4, that's 10, and I mark 10. Now connect from that 10 to your armhole line. Maybe you notice the way I did not take the armhole curve inwards like the front. Yes, that is the slight difference between the armhole for the front and the armhole for the back. That of the back is usually broader, while that of the front is usually deeper, if that makes sense. For the princess that, go to your bust line, go in by half of your nipple to nipple measurement and roll across from the bust line to your full length, okay? Now go to your waistline. On both sides of the line you just drew, take half an inch, go in by half an inch on both sides. Now connect that half an inch to the leg of the dart, like so. After this, simply move to the armhole area. Place your tape around the armhole from the shoulder slope all the way to that curve. Yes, place your tape, make sure you bend it like this. Find the midpoint. From that midpoint, connect to your dart eye, just like I just did. Now to close up your dart, connect from that dart eye to the rest of the dart you created, okay? So this is what the princess dart for the back looks like. Remember, we are not replacing any darts around the armhole for the back. That is why I told you to pay close attention, okay? Good. Now that we are done with the darts, we'll mark our circumference measurements. You already know that whatever we have on the chest line will be replaced on the bust line, like so. Now for the waistline, the waist we're working with is 28 divided by 4, which is 7. 7 plus 1 inch that we took out is 8. So altogether we have 8 inches for this back. So the next thing we'll do now is to move to the hem. 40 divided by 4 is 10. We'll mark 10 right there, and then we'll connect all the points just like we did for the front. We'll also create a V-shaped thing from the side. We went in by 21 inches, connect it to the center of the top like so. Now this is what we have. Of course, I have added the stitching allowance. Okay, so this is what we have after cutting out. The next thing we'll do now is to create a slit for the back. We're going in by 1 inch to connect to the waistline just like we did for the front. And yeah, that's that for the slit. We'll cut out the slit and also cut out the dart, and our back pattern is ready. After cutting out, guys, your pattern paper is definitely ready. This is what the back pattern looks like. Make sure you label as well the center, the sides, to avoid confusion. Okay, go and place on your main fabric and then cut out. You see, this labeling thing is very important, especially if you're doing like a mass production. So you guys, this is my beautiful top. Go ahead and cut your sleeve, any sleeve you decide to work with. I'm sure it will definitely eat up. See you in my next video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.